All right, this is 2.5. We're solving equations using addition or subtraction right now. So we're going to start off with a little bit of vocab. And the first vocab that we're going to start off with is inverse operations. And inverse operations are operations that undo each other. Operations that undo each other. So what inverse operation would go with addition? What undoes addition? Yep, subtraction. And what undoes multiplication? Division. Okay, so those are operations, math operations. They make you do something. So addition undoes subtraction and vice versa, and multiplication undoes division and vice versa. Equivalent equations are equations that have the same solution. Equations that have the same solution. Now remember in notes, you probably want some color. You're going to need to pause or rewind. Make sure you're doing arrows and connections, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we're going to first look at the subtraction property of equality. You guys know this one, right? We already did this property. In words, subtracting the same number from each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. So if I have the equation x plus 3 equals 5, you can already tell what x is going to be, right? What number plus 3 is 5? It's going to be 2. But if you weren't sure, how would you get rid of adding 3? You would subtract 3. But whatever we do to one side, we'd have to do to the other. So this is showing it in row format, and I know some of you would prefer to put it in column format where you put it right underneath there. Either one is okay, and you're going to get x equals 2, no matter which way you do the problem. Showing this algebraically, you guys did this on your cards there. So if I had x plus a and I want to get rid of adding a, I subtract a to both sides. So the b minus a side would be left on the right. Okay, so we're going to do a couple examples. Yep, this is lots of review, probably from even before last year, maybe a couple years ago. We're just getting it back in your brain. So how do I undo adding 5? I subtract 5, and whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. And again, if you don't like it in the row format like they have it, you would write minus 5 underneath there. And what is negative 2 plus negative 5? It's negative 7. So to check that solution, we think it's negative 7. We plug it back in the original equation. Negative 7 plus 5, is it equal? We have the question mark over there. To negative 2? And yes, it is. So it works. We just say check. Okay? So let's look at the next page. We have that property we've already done, the addition property of equality this time. And what it's saying is if you have two sides that equal each other and you add something to both sides, you're still going to get an equivalent equation. So in this one, what minus 3 is 5? You know it's 8. If you weren't sure, you would add 3 to both sides to undo subtract, or you could put it in the column method that way. X is equal to 8. Showing that algebraically, we'd add a to get to both sides to get rid of that minus a, and a plus b or b plus a would be on the right. I could write a plus b because addition is commutative again, remember? Okay, so in this one, something minus 7 is equal to 12. It doesn't matter that it's over on the other side. We're still going to add 7 to both sides to get rid of the minus 7. And remember, if you didn't like the column, then you would have done add 7 this way. And we have 7 minus 7 canceling, and 12 plus 7 is 19. So the solution is 19. We're going to check it off to the side here. So 12 equals with your question mark over it, 19 minus 7. I want you to think about it. Don't just say, oh yeah, it works. If you don't think about it, you won't catch your mistake. Okay, so you have 3 problems to do. You're going to solve them, like they say. You're going to show your work and then show your check. So do number 1 actually, and then come back and see how you did. And then you can go on to 2. So did you get x equals 13? You've shown me your work by subtracting 6 to both sides. and you showed me your check and you finished it to show me that it worked. Okay, do number 2. Pause the video and see how you did. Okay, so in this one, did you have y equals negative 17? You have your check and it worked. And notice I'm putting a box around my answer. That just makes it easier for me to check it. So if you want to do that, that'd be great. You showed me subtracting 12 to both sides, correct? All right, so the last one, go ahead and pause and do that guy. And you should have added 3 to both sides, which made m negative 8. And in your check, I changed my minus 3 to plus a negative. You can keep it either way as long as you get negative 11 equaling negative 11. Okay, good job on notes, and you are on to the next task.